China has said very explicitly through their ministers, we prefer multilateralism or multi-actions as opposed to one country just taking the lead. And so that's been interpreted as China saying, well, if you want to move together towards certain goals, we can talk about it, but don't expect us to be the one lecturing and hectoring and what have you. But China is really, perhaps they have a different style, and you could talk about that, but they really are leading in terms of their manufacturing and their actual results, are they not? I mean, they are the world's main engine for producing solar panels, and that has produced a whole lot of good all over the world. We may not see it in certain locations, like here in Canada, in the US. There are certain locations where solar is not proliferate, but it is happening around the world. And as well, as everybody knows, China has revamped the EV, the electric vehicle market. They are producing EVs at scale, tremendous number of EVs, and they are forcing their own states and their own people to purchase EVs as opposed to ICE vehicles. And so they are transforming things, are they not? I mean, perhaps you can talk
Absolutely.
about that and maybe the approach that China has as opposed to what people have expected in the past.
Right. So there's many different understandings of soft power, right? And some of this depends on what culture you're coming from, on what situation you're in. Uh, for the British taking over the international oceanic trade from France more than 100 years ago, for them, soft power was being essentially in charge of the economy. And for the US, it was having the dollar as the default mark of trade. If you trade euros for yuan, you have dollars in the middle of the process. And that, of course, because of BRICS and several other issues happening in the world we don't have to get into, is on its way out. And so with China doing things like the Belt and Road Initiative, large investments across Africa for development, and now across Latin America, you see a different understanding of power, where you don't have to be the default economic hegemon. You can, to go into psychology, lead by example rather than by rote.